Alright, turn that off. Sorry. Let's see. So, yeah, we're talking about the clues. I'm not sure how I got a clue. What does the main screen give me? Not sure why this sort of transfer thing is useful. Oh, I guess because he's covering the text. I don't know. I'd rather he just not cover the text to begin with, right? Are those multiple songs from the game, or... Let me just close my browser just in case. Yeah, I think those are multiple sounds coming from the game. So, I think I triggered that by hitting the X. Speaking of, why is that an X? Like, it looks like I'm looking at the other side of a card as opposed to, like... actually doing something? Alright, alright. So how do I get back to non-main menu? I can see my items. I can go over here, status. Alright, I clicked down there. Looks like I got the same event. I'm not really sure what I clicked on to cause this. I guess just do another one to find out. They didn't tear his neck apart, but instead carved a weird symbol of something sharp. You try to remember the sign and escape before anyone arrives. Alright. So that background noise stopped happening. I guess that was just that menu. Yeah. So we got multiple city events, it looks like, so we just go down the list. So yeah, these clues, I'm not really sure where they're coming from. They're not coming from the events, they just show up, and I'm not really sure what they're giving me besides flavor. I guess it's like victory points, like I have to complete the mystery in order to actually, like, win. So I guess that's fine. But, like, I would rather it, like, tie more directly to the cards, right? So, with the trail getting colder, you wonder if any similar case happened in the past. Maybe return to the library isn't a bad idea. Sure. Hard knowledge check failure. Hard knowledge check. So, there's a knowledge stat that I did not have high enough, I'm guessing. That or it was just a random roll, and I can't know what I actually rolled. Neither feels great, but, you know. Perception? Oh, knowledge, right here. 5. Alright, so that's just a stat, and I would have to know that that card would use my knowledge stat and that fail. I'd rather it show you the stats, but after you drew the cards. That way, you gain knowledge from, like, actually playing the game a little bit and learning what each card does, right? Oh, okay, so what's happening is I click here to go back to the menu, but then that's recorded as a second mouse click when I go back to that, like, investigate menu. Alright. Dark forces scheme against you. You don't know sure who you can trust anymore. You have to draw a curse. Okay. Manor, 1 in cards. Cave system under the mansion. Yeah, see, these are all like, you know. So we'll travel to Manor. Alright. Oh, I see what's going on. Using the word manor in some places and then mansion in other places. That's a little confusing because they're not strictly the same thing in English. Anyways, I would just use the same word to make it more consistent. How does time affect me? Because it says I spend time... Oh, right here. Day 1, 11 p.m. Oh, okay. Suddenly, a wall in front of you falls apart, revealing a hole-ridden monstrosity. Holer thing. Okay. So we have dice. It's 1d plus 4. So I guess that's a modifier die, and it's a d4. Is how I'm supposed to read that? I guess I would write it as plus 1d4 for whatever effect that is. It looks like I've got 1d0 with no weapon, so can I, like, equip my... Uh-oh. I might have entered the Twilight Realm. I should probably stop clicking that button. So, 1d plus 2 sounds better than 1d0, so I guess do that. Each attack has a chance of infecting you with holes, but it doesn't tell me what the chance is. Alright, so I guess just go for it. Combat roll result. So, it looks like the way combat works in this game is you roll a die, and then whoever gets the higher roll wins that combat. I don't know what that does, or what that did to him, rather. We've got the skull. I don't remember if the health was 3 before. It might not have been, and maybe it was like 4, and then having won that roll, he gets hit by 3. But here's a question. Why? How can I roll at 7? Oh, it's like a 1d6 plus 2 modifier. Okay. Sure. Yep. He won that, but I don't know what that did to me. Right? Like, my stats look the same. I had 20 stamina before, and that looks like HP. I had 18 reason before, I think, but that might have gone down due to an event. So, oh, failure, -1 sanity. Alright, so if I lose a combat roll, I lose -1 sanity, which is the same as reason, I guess. Fair enough, fair enough. Rolled a 10. Ow. But here's the thing, I only need to high roll 3 times, whereas he has to like high roll 16 times to win, so I'm pretty sure if I just keep kicking, I win no matter what. So let's just go for it. Not very lucky. Alright, a tie happened. I'm not really sure what that affected. Yep, so I won, and then I have to resolve the event. Like, for a game that's like... Oh. What happens if I click that? Nothing. Okay. Alright. So, what do I think about that? I felt like I didn't have very many decisions, but that might just be because the item button's broken. Can I like equip the revolver here? Yeah, I can use weapon. But it still says held no weapon. Return to police station. I click that. Do I just return the gun to the police? Let's find out. You get a nice reward for return. A suicide is not a solution. What did I do to... I might have tried to use the weapon on myself? If that's the case, that wasn't very clear. Alright. So, let's try to not click on the actual button that causes me to investigate. It's like on the corner here. Yeah. So, we go to the village. Stop there. You hear coming from behind you. You won't destroy my life's work. Obsessed man, 3 health. 1 plus D2. Failure, -1 bod. Not sure what bod is. I guess let's attack once just to see what bod is. Okay, so bod is stamina. Like I'm noticing a pattern here. Like you use one word in some places and then another word in another place, and that's really hard to like follow as a player. And like it just takes me out of it, right? I was like thinking in my head, maybe that's like a deliberate decision to heighten, just make it more enigmatic. But like that doesn't help. It just pulls me out of it. So yeah, let's just kick him a few times. Yeah, so the main problem I see with this sort of combat mechanic is that it's asking me to like perform actions even when there are no choices, right? Like, I can't choose to, like, do anything other than attack him a whole bunch. And that's just not very fun. And it's not very tense either, because I have a lot of chances to fail, right? And I understand why that is. It's because it's a random game. You can't really, like, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna turn down the volume a little bit because I'm trying to think here. So, it's a random game, so you need a lot of health to, like, overcome the variance of just playing the game, right? But then that removes the tension because you have a lot of chances to fail. Like, if you think of a game like Darkest Dungeon, which is also trying to be, like, horrifying, intense, and all that, there is variance, but there's not enough variance to the point where... Let me try to reword this. That game is tense because there are not that many chances to fail because you also... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, let me think about this. This is interesting because also in Darkest Dungeon you also get like a decent chunk of health and you also get a second stress meter, so there's multiple conditions you can sort of manage. And the, like, real issue here is the stress comes in from the fact that you can lose a character and then handicap yourself without necessarily losing the game entirely. Which I think is interesting, because that suggests, like, in this sort of game, maybe you want, like, a wound system or something that, like, fundamentally affects you if you roll low enough. But it has to be a very large number of low rolls, right? That could be neat. So let's just resolve the event and turn the volume back up. So yeah, clues still not very helpful. Okay, what are my additional actions? So these, they cost money, but I can't click on the button. I can't know how much money it is. Okay. Shop for new items. I can't actually use items, so that's not very helpful. Rest at home could help, but that gives me plus 5% Doom. So it looks like Doom is sort of just a ticking thing that goes up as time passes, maybe? And then, like, doing these events over here. They're measured in Doom and it's opposed to time, which this stuff over here isn't measured in time, where this is in Doom. So I can't really directly compare the difference between just going someplace and then going home first and then going someplace. So let's just click a button and see what that does. You need to return to your home first. Oh, okay, so you spend time going to your home and then you click that button and then that's when the Doom ticks up. Let's see what that does. So let's go home. So that's a 7-hour time difference, and that did not increase the Doom as I thought it would. So yeah, so I guess, like, only specific actions increase Doom, and you can just kind of waste time because the only mechanic it seems to affect is this clock right here. So yeah, let's go for it. Cool. Time flies so fast, you prepare yourself to leave and continue along the investigation. Alright, so this seems poorly worded. Let me try to reword it for you. But time flies by too fast. You now have to prepare to leave and continue your long investigation. Something like that. Like, this is one thought, so then that encourages you to do the second one. Whereas here, it's presented as one, like, single thought, right? So let's go to the village. Trail to the abandoned Shinto shrine is overgrown and steep, however it can be an important place to investigate. So, 2 buttons, I don't know what they do, so let's pick randomly. Taking the safe route costs you time, but you get to the top without incidents. Burnt out candle wax and dry blood spilled around the shrine mean a new sinister cult has claimed this location. So that's extra experience plus extra doom. You enter the dark boiler room and trip over a pipe. Over a pipe. Cursing, you find a light switch. The thing you tripped over wasn't a pipe after all. It's a set of long rubbery arms coiling around the room and ending in a ventilation shaft. Coming closer, you can smell something vile and rotten. And then there's a button with no text on it. Alright. Sweet boobies. I'm trying to figure out what that means environmentally. Like, it's a boiler room, so somebody works here and then they just put up porn. Alright. Spooky man over here. Unholy chants are coming from the cave system connected with the mansion. Unholy chants coming from the cave system connected with the mansion have driven the family insane. Alright, that's a run-on. With no connection to the outside world, they ate what they had, themselves. Rewards for solving the mystery, knowledge is key 10 experience, time passes plus 1 day. Holes from fighting Hole Man. Alright. So I didn't see a vengeful spirit. Alright, like, I feel like there's a lot of, like, narrative elements here, but they're not adding up to, like, a narrative. And that might just be due to the random nature of the game, but I also feel like you could probably clamp down on that by just, like, limiting what happens in which pool of events, right? Like, a cop dying, that's not a big deal. You can just put that in any event, but, like, some things, like, the clues over here should probably very likely be tied to the event you're doing. So yeah, let's do another mystery to see if we learn anything new. Junior was obsessed with mermaids. He collected every scrap of the legend about them in the school basement. Now his mind is tapped. He decided to make some of his own using the upper bodies of students as materials. Is this a callback to that boiler room? Might make sense. So, additional quest. Let's do that first this time, because we had the time to do it last time, it looked like, and we just didn't. So let's go to Seaside twice. Scary eyes. Suddenly an air around you begins to twirl. A supernatural wave of coldness is approaching. Strength check. Alright. So I'm not a big fan of, like, these checks, because I don't think I can affect my stats. I don't really know what my stats are off the top of my head. So I can't know... I can't do anything about this check is basically what I'm saying. It's randomness for randomness' sake. I can't affect it. And I mean... that might not be a problem. If that's just a way to, like, sort of whittle down your stats. But it's kind of... not very engaging, let's say. Right? Like, I don't feel compelled to min-max because I know I'm just going to get hit anyway, so I'd much rather just take healing items and whatever else that can sort of recover from that. Of course, there are no healing items either, so... oh, oops. Take a nap. So... I'm not sure why I had to travel to Seaside when I started at Seaside. And well. So we solved that mystery just by taking 2 random damage checks. I guess I could have just chosen not to go there. But, like, I'd have to write this stuff down to, like, actually min-max it. Oh well. Okay. I succeeded that time, but I don't know why. Not sure what I would do. Okay, so just shitpost and you get free gold. That seems pretty good. Dark forces scheme against you. You don't know who you can trust anymore. Draw 1 curse. Okay. Still don't know what the curses do to me, but, you know, it's fine. Sometimes the game seems to like move me to the event I have to go to next, but other times I have to click on it, and I'm not really sure why. No. So just getting more stats is always good, it looks like. Travel to school. Do the other one. So I guess that event just doesn't have results tied to it, so just pick like random ones or something. It's a little weird, but you know, it's fine. Okay, so you're giving me like an item specific check, but I haven't looked at my inventory yet, right? I don't know if I have an empty bottle, so I'm just gonna click and see if I don't. Alright, so I don't have an empty bottle. Oh. Alright. Possible angles in seemingly moving lines make your head spin. Alright. So now we get to the actual event. So this is all just stuff to wear me down for the actual event. That's what's going on. You bust through the door to the general closet, but it's already too late. Surrounded by closets on the dirty mattress, you see the corpse of a student, an upper part of them at least. Legs have been sawed off in their place. The tail of a fish has been crudely sewn in. She was too weak and died. You hear the mad janitor say, raising a knife. Luckily, I have another healthy candidate for metamorphosis. You. So, sewn, I think, is the correct conjugation here. Don't quote me on that. They both might be valid. I don't know. Alright, and I get the same mystery solved thing. I get more holes. I guess that's a status effect and it happens every time, or is that just a bug? Oh well. So I think that's enough for now. So what do I think about this? Right, like, I'm definitely intrigued by the atmosphere and the theme, but in a way the mechanics just don't make very much sense. Like, I can't follow how I'm supposed to be actually playing the game to succeed or fail, so it feels like I'm just picking randomly. That, and there are a bunch of like UI bugs, but I'm sure you can fix those having seen them. So yeah, I definitely think you can improve, but I definitely think it's like good now as far as presentation goes. So good luck.